Hello, friends. Welcome to our YouTube channel. This is Karthik,
This is Afreen.
and today we're going to be talking about the latest release, We Live in Time. We just saw the movie today, and we decided let's talk a little bit about the movie because it remains fresh in our minds. So, to start with, I will say that I have mixed opinion about the movie. There are parts of this movie which I liked a lot, and overall, I got a good vibe from the movie, but I think I missed the emotional connection. And that's what makes me not fall in love with the movie. It's like overall a good movie, not a great movie. It could have been a great movie. You have these movies which have that feel good factor in them, and the actors are wonderful, and the chemistry is great, and you're into the movie. So I went in expecting that kind of movie. However, it didn't reach that level. So that's my opinion. I think you want to give your opinion, your overall opinion to begin with.
I was excited to see Florence Pugh and Andrew Garfield, A-list actors. At the end of the movie, I thought, how come they signed for this kind of movie? But it's almost like every actor has done this genre, whether it's Richard Gere or any big actor. They've done this kind of movie where they are sick and they are going to die. It has been done to death, actually. So what's different are the moments that are shown in the movie. Other than that, the story itself doesn't hold any novelty.
So one more thing, when I didn't emotionally connect with the movie, I just went and read the reviews and I wanted to see what probably didn't work for others as well. And while reading those reviews, I realized that many people had a complaint with the narrative style of the movie. So the movie is not a linear movie. It keeps jumping in time. And I think while such narration style works for thrillers, like you have seen the recent example, Tamil movie Maharaja or Memento is one of the best examples of this kind of narration. But probably in this movie, that narrative style didn't work because of that you are not completely invested with the characters of the movie. That's one reason why I think the emotional connection didn't happen.
Definitely. I should be totally engrossed in the entire length of the movie. Instead of that, I'm guessing whether this is past or present or what has happened. I almost feel like it's present, and then Karthik had to explain two, three times that, oh no, it's the past. Look at her hairstyle, and it's the past, it's the past. It happened three times. So I'm already like, oh. That confusion should never happen. So that was surprising that with such big actors, they made a movie which could confuse people.
Yeah, but I will talk about the good parts. So one of the scenes that I was the most impressed by was her delivery scene. For me, it was a big surprise the way the delivery scene happens. So she's stuck in a traffic jam. I mean, both of them are stuck in a traffic jam, and she just keeps walking and she enters one of these 7-Eleven stores. It's set in UK, I believe. So one of those 7-Eleven type of stores, a gas station, and she just goes into the toilet and he keeps chasing her and she's blocked in the toilet and she says that while I was trying to poop, I realized that I think I'm ready to deliver. I'm going to deliver here. So the scene is very chaotic. It's one of those scenes which lights up the entire theater also who are watching. Like what's happening now? Suddenly there's so much energy in this movie, right? All of a sudden. And so all the things that happen are very weird. It's like
The
taken from
involvement of
perfection.
the Indian guy Sanjay and another female Jane, and
Yes.
there is somebody on the mobile phone telling them how to deliver the child, and like she's naked and she's trying to deliver, and even Sanjay has to kind of hold the phone, come into the bathroom and hold the phone. So in that situation, nudity is immaterial in that situation, and everybody just concentrates on the agenda at hand. It's a very funny scene. I like that Jane and that Sanjay do a fist bump at the end when these guys finally leave.
It was like they took a leaf from a Quentin Tarantino movie. If you remember Pulp Fiction, there is that scene where Uma Thurman becomes unconscious, he's almost dead, and he has to put an injection, and people all around are very scared what's going to happen. So it was kind of that scene, not that thrilling, but suddenly there was a lot of energy in the movie.
Yeah.
So that's one scene which I liked a lot. I thought the movie stood out for that particular scene. And then there were a couple more scenes. Yeah, I think you wanted to
I
say
mean,
something.
I like the two scenes where first he gets hit. I was not expecting that. I
Yeah.
mean, it becomes like it's very quick. You know he's going to get hit, but before that thought hits your head, he's already hit. So you're like, ah, what just happened? That's my protagonist. And the second scene is when she's across him and he gets up and he's like confused. And first thing which she says is, they wanted the bed back. I'm like, what? That's your patient. How can you want the bed back? That was hilarious. And then she says that Karthik said that it's in the trailer and it was not a surprise to him. But I don't see trailers, so it was a complete surprise to me when she says that she's the one who hit him with the car. So I like what? That was hilarious to me. They call it a meet cute moment in rom coms, and that was their meet cute when they actually hit the other person. It was hilarious. I loved those two scenes, like anything, and the build up to the accident also where he tries one pencil, one pen, and it doesn't work. And in his bathroom only, he goes to some station, gas station maybe to buy a pencil or a pen, and then he buys ice cream along with it or something. We're like, how can you just buy a pen? So, and then he's
Yeah.
coming with cookies and cream, and the cookie falls on the road, and he's trying to pick it up. Like, who picks up cookie from a road? Like, I would never, I would never be able to eat anything off the road or even my own house floor. I'll never do that. But yeah, it's crazy to think that people are nuts about food. I feel like I'm nuts about food, but that's another level.
I also like the discussion about buying a dog, because I think everyone who has seen the trailer and most of the people watch the trailer, so you know that this movie is about uh, Florence Pugh's character having cancer and they dealing with it. Like the title, "We live in time, every minute counts." So that's what the movie is about. So when Florence Pugh's character gets cancer and they have to reveal it to their daughter, and she says that let's buy a dog. Once the dog dies, that's the worst thing that could happen to a child. So they will be okay to accept anything after that. So Andrew Garfield's character is like, you're planning to buy a dog and then kill it as well. The whole discussion was a little funny. So there were these moments that come in between which keep you engaged. But I don't know what, but it didn't. So a movie like this, where the principal character is going to die and eventually dies, should be a tearjerker. There have to be moments where you're going to not be able to stop your tears. But that doesn't happen. It didn't. That's not the way it worked for me. For you?
That's because the primary emotion of sacrifice is missing. Nobody is really sacrificing their own identity or self for the other person. They compromise. It's not like a big sacrifice. So when you miss sacrifice, like Manjumal Boys or any of the recent movies you've seen, whenever there is sacrifice where you put yourself in, harm's way, that's when the movie's level rises. Here, that's not really happening. It's more selfish, I feel. Not selfish, but more of like putting their own agenda ahead or what they think. So yeah, when you don't have sacrifice, then you're not going to be as involved or as emotional.
Probably, yes. There are a couple of things here that I would like to mention. This is strictly my opinion about the choices the character makes in this movie. And before I go ahead and give my opinion, I want to just mention one thing. In life and even in movies, the characters and the people, the real people, have the first right to choose whatever they want to choose in their life, right? All you can do is either tell them that you don't agree with them, and if you're really emotionally connected with that person, you might go ahead and try to persuade them to not take that choice, depending on the kind of person you are. There is a part of the movie which I didn't personally like the choice of the character. So I will tell you the two choices that the character made which I didn't agree with. The first choice is when she finds out that she has cancer, she's given two options. One option is that she takes out one of the ovaries and she keeps the uterus, and they go through chemotherapy and try to deal with the cancer that way. The second option is she takes out both the ovaries and the uterus. And that way, the chances of it to relapse is much lesser. She's shown as a character who does not want to have children. Her husband, or rather her boyfriend, is the one who wants to have a child. She decides that she's going to go with the option one. At that point of time, I was in my head telling, no, don't do that. If I were in a similar situation as a husband, I would have done my best to persuade my wife to not go ahead with that choice. Because, number one, maybe because I'm not a father yet, I don't have those kind of emotions. It could be right. I won't get into the debate about that. But I feel that too much importance is given to having a child. Also, if you really want to have a child, you can adopt. I don't see this obsessiveness behind having your own genes, leaving your footprint in the world. So that it's okay to have that feeling, but not to the extent of obsession.
Yeah.
And if you have to choose between life and giving birth to a child, any day life. This is my opinion. It's not like you've already given birth. The child is not existing, right? It doesn't exist in the universe. It's only when it exists that you feel that you are depriving it of a life.
I had a friend who could not give birth to a child, and she went through IVF, and then she decided to adopt. Now they have an adopted kid, and she said that it was on the expense of my health. Like my health was deteriorating to a very bad level. You have to take hormone injections or what. I don't know the details, but she literally said that I cannot give birth to a kid at the expense of my own health. If I'm not there, then what's there, right? So they decided to adopt, and that's a very noble thing to do. Although it is also selfish because you want to adopt for your own happiness. So although it is benefiting the kid, it's a mix. I have a mixed feeling about that. But absolutely great to adopt a kid and bring it as your own. Yeah, that's the word. In the movie, I didn't have a problem with her choice. It was her life, her choice. She felt she would be fulfilled by a kid at that point of time, and she gave birth to a kid, and the kid grows up, right, to be a quite a 4 or 5 years old, I guess.
Yeah,
So she had that time with the kid, right?
yeah. So that's the first thing that I had a small problem with. And the second problem that I had with was when she chooses to give her career or her life goal, work life goal, more importance than her own life. And to that, I feel that if you do not have life, then there is nothing left, right? If you have life, there is an opportunity for you to keep achieving what you want. There is still that hope left. Maybe she had lost all hope from living. Maybe that was the reason she decides that before I leave, I'm going to do this. She had probably accepted that no, there is no way I'm going to survive this cancer. But I think she should have given herself a little more chance. Personally speaking, I went through this stage when I made my first movie, Karma Strikes, with a lot of difficulty and with complete support from you and a lot of other friends, but majorly from you. And then my life came to a standstill. The movie was not releasing, and I was not able to make my second movie. Finally, my movie released, but I'm still not able to make my second movie. So there came a point when I was like, if I don't make movies, then there is no point. I don't want to do anything else in life. And I will be honest in accepting there was a point of time when I thought that if I'm not going to be able to make movies, then there is no purpose living life. And then I told myself there are so many other things to look forward to. I love spending time with you, the amount of time that we spend and whatever we do in our day-to-day lives. And there are so many other things that I can do to keep myself happy. Like the podcast that I'm doing right now is because of that. Okay, I'm not getting to make a movie. Let me use my creativity. Let me do something which gives my creative urge some satisfaction, right? So I try to find different ways to keep myself happy and continue to live, because when life is there, you keep thinking of different options to give yourself happiness and choices. So I felt that she shouldn't have stopped believing that she could survive, and she should have given her life another chance. But once again, it's her choice. It's the situation in her mind. So maybe because of these two reasons, I was thrown out from the movie a little bit because of the choices of the characters, of the character especially. But having said that, there was something missing for sure. Not able to completely dissect. For you, it is the sacrifice aspect. For me, it's a little bit of many things. The narrative style.
I can only compare it with the best in the genre called Sadma, where Kamal Haasan is outrightly like broken and he's just like devastated that she's leaving and you're crying for him basically, right? Sridevi has taken off. So yeah, based on that, like Andrew Garfield has not become a bichara and he's not like going to die himself or anything like that. So there is no bicharapan here in either of the characters. She's not a bichari because she's dying. She's not just becoming a bichari ki arey yaar main marne wali hu. That feeling is not there. He's not becoming a bichara because she's dying. That bichara. So we are not feeling that sad for either of the characters. Not even for the kid, we are not feeling that sad. They're all continuing with their life in a normal manner only. It's some sadness, but it's not devastating. It's not gutting. It's not end of life kind of sadness. So I think that's how life is. You carry on with your sadness. You're like, this is a part of life. We love that person, but I mean, that is what is lacking in the movie. In Sadma, Kamal Haasan goes to strange lengths to remind her of his connection with her, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean...
Yeah, another movie I would compare it... Sorry.
If you want to see the best in this genre, you should see Sadma, irrespective of you, if you're American or Indian or whoever. Sadma is the best performance, the crazy things. It's absolutely the best. But this is good as well. It's above 7, so you can give it one watch. You won't be disappointed and you won't be bored.
Yeah, for sure. You won't be bored. You won't be disappointed. But what happens is when you go into a movie like this, you expect it to be great and not just good. So that's the only problem. If you're expecting a good movie, you'll be very happy. But if you're expecting a great movie, it falls short of greatness. That's our overall take. There are many moments in the film that you're going to enjoy. There are many moments in the film that will touch your heart. They may not make you weep, but will touch your heart. Performances are extraordinary. Both of them did really well as far as performances are concerned. And I really wished going into the movie that I'm going to be like raving about it when I come out and talking about it, must watch and all that. So that didn't happen. So anyways, I think that's okay.
I mean, I want to add that this one is more realistic. Sadma was absolutely unrealistic. Like that kind of story is fantasy type, like where somebody is just... So here, the identity of the woman and the choices she makes is also important. How she wants to leave her legacy, because she's leaving a legacy of her own image to her kid. And she wants a certain image, not the decline of her health should not be the only talking point. Like, how was your mother? Oh, my mother was sick and then she died. That should not be the only talking point for the child, is what she says. And she would rather have her kids say, oh, my mom was the best. She was full of life. She worked till the last day of her death and she achieved like the biggest award in that a chef can achieve. How the narrative shifts. I think that's how Florence Pugh thought, that she wants to be talked about. She wants a legacy to be created right now while she's alive and to be left for her kids. So in today's day and age, love is important, but it should be a part of life. Nobody can live without love, actually. It gives a glow to your face, it gives a glow to your life, it gives you a purpose, and it's a great feeling to have love in your life, but without an identity, whatever it may be. Whether as a housewife, or whether as a career woman, or whether as a over the top achiever, but that's the identity she wants. So that's very important, and that's what we come away with, actually, that there was a girl who had cancer, but she wanted to achieve the highest possible accolade in her career, and she went with it. So
True. Thank you for your opinion. And listening to you, I also felt that probably that was the right end to her character and her character arc in the movie. Whatever she wanted to do, she kind of managed to achieve, and she had that fighting spirit in her till that last minute. So that's a good thing. So that's it from our end. Watch this movie, give it a chance, and I'm sure you won't be disappointed if you go with decent expectations. Right?
yeah, I agree, Karthik. Thanks for doing this with me.
Thank you, Afreen. Bye.
Bye.